Hi, everybody.
Welcome to Tuesday Night Knit Chat. And it is Tuesday this time.
It is. It is.
So, thank you all for joining us. My name is Noelle, and this is my friend
Kelly.
And we are joining you from Canada. I'm in Southwestern Ontario, and I had to ask Kelly where she was. So yes. Kelly, tell us, where are you?
I am in Cap-Chat, Quebec, which means Cape Cat. And apparently there is a rock somewhere near here that is cat-shaped. We just pulled in this afternoon, so I haven't found the rock yet. I'll be on the lookout for that later tonight. But so anyway, that's where we are. We've gone to our most easterly point, and we are making our way back now. So
you are back in our time zone.
I am back in your time zone as of yesterday. Yes.
Yeah. So welcome everyone. This is a knitting podcast, first of all, and we mostly talk about knitting. We come to you usually every Tuesday night, just for a chat about, what's going on, what we're knitting, what we're thinking of knitting, what we finished, what we didn't finish. And we're happy to have you all with us. And Kelly's been traveling for
3 weeks now.
3 weeks now. 3 weeks now. And last week, both of us were away. I was away for a week up in Bala, Ontario, which was absolutely wonderful, beautiful weather, great bike riding, so peaceful, calm in the morning. It was a great time. Like, there's so many nice places to go to, like just in Ontario.
Yes, absolutely.
So I don't know, some things that like sometimes we take for granted what's close to us. So
definitely I have not traveled enough in the country that I live in. I'm just going to say that up front. This is an area, I grew up in the East Coast, but there were areas that we've been in the last 3 weeks that I had never been to in my entire life of growing up there, and that were just absolutely stunningly gorgeous. And right now we are traveling on the Highway 132 on the outer perimeter of Quebec. And I had no idea, it is a beautiful shoreline, and there is just like beach after beach after beach and small coastal town after small coastal town. And how you're in another town is you will see another very large church. And it's just been a little bit of a joke for Mike and I. I'm like, oh, big church. And then you've crossed into another small town. But it is like the scenery is stunning. It's very hilly. And very twisty, windy roads. And today it is very windy too. So there are white caps in the ocean. But I'm telling you, this is like such a beautiful trip. Last week we were on Cabot Trail, and I had never been to Cape Breton. So I'm looking forward. I still have another week on the road. And I also have to say I had no idea that I would enjoy it this much. I was just telling Noelle that I have completely settled into a routine of life on the road in our little trailer. And Roxy has quite settled in as well.
Well, that's good.
She's doing really well. She still does not like the truck rides. So we have resorted to giving her some herbal drops that calm her right down. And then she just sleeps for the day in the truck when we have a driving day. But honestly, I love it. And the one amendment that we did make in the trailer before we left, and I'm so glad we did, is we bought a new mattress, and this mattress is a dream. In fact, I'm thinking of ordering one for home, and I'm sleeping like a rock every night. Our days are busy. We're up in the morning, we're hiking or we're driving, and we're seeing all the things. It's great. We're just having the best time.
Good. Okay. So where do you want to start?
Well, I want to start with this comment that I starred here because I thought it was really cute. Christina
Okay.
Tardif says, happy Tuesday, y'all.
Oh, that's so cute. That is cute.
So I think, Christina, we might steal that from you because I really
Yep.
like it. We
Yep.
might start tagging that on here. I think that's very clever. So thanks for sharing that. And outside of that, I don't know. Where do you want to start?
Well, we do have some prizes to give away.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because we
Forgot about
had
that. It's been 2 weeks.
That's right. And the last time we podcast was June 30th. And that was the end of June for socks. That was also the end of our condiment make-along. So we have several prizes to give out for that. And I will show you them. And I've got them all in here. We'll go first with the socks. Okay, so for our sock make-along, every month we give away a prize from Natalie, our friend Natalie Sheldon, a pattern prize. And we also give away a sock yarn prize. So we do that at the end of every month. We go back to the beginning of the year and we look at all the entries from the beginning of the year up until the end of the current month. And then we pick 2 winners. So for this month, let me just pull out the prizes here. So for this month, the pattern prize, I think we lost Kelly here for a minute. Hopefully she'll be back in a minute, but I'll keep going here. For this month, the sock pattern prize goes to Lizbeth A. Okay, and let me just pull that up here. Okay, so the sock make along, it's Lizbeth A. And she knit these beautiful self-striping socks. So congratulations to Lizbeth. You were the winner of the pattern for June. And this just goes to show you, Liz's entry was number 137. So that went right back. And altogether, we had, up to the end of June, we had 2,473 pairs of socks in there. So that is amazing. So congratulations to Liz. You will win a pattern prize from our friend Natalie. And the next, let me just go to the next one. The next one is the sock yarn prize for, first of all, I'll show it to you. So this is the sock yarn prize for June. So this is a skein of Leo and Roxy. This is their 80/20 sock. And I thought this colorway was really appropriate for this time of year. It is called If This Were Ice Cream.
Oh, I like that.
Perfect for summer months. So this prize is going to go to, let me just see here. So this is going to Knit Crazy Kathy. So congratulations. Sock make along winner for June is Knit Crazy Kathy. That's her name on Ravelry. Again, we've got another pair of self-patterning socks here. Turned out really cute. Looks like she's got them matching up almost exactly. So congratulations to both of our winners for the sock make along for June. And we'll move on to the next. Let me just pull this one down. And we'll tell you at the end of this how to get in touch with us if you've won any prizes. So the next is we had our condiment mile going on. So we had 2 prizes for that. First is this beautiful, like you can't even call it a project bag because it will hold a whole
It's a shopping bag. It's a shopping bag.
Take the shopping with you. This is made by our friend Sandy, and it's got knits and pieces on the outside. You've got a beautiful front pocket here to store things in. There's also a zippered pocket on the inside that you can store your pattern, your phone, whatever in. She also did this with a vinyl bottom. So if you're somewhere like under the bridge and the grass is a little bit damp, you can set that down and not have to worry about anything getting wet inside it. And then you can just kind of wipe it off with a damp cloth after. Okay, so in our condiment make along, we had there was 147. So that would be 146 entries. So the winner of this project bag for the condiments make along is Knitting Grammy. And Knitting Grammy made these DK socks, which she held with mohair. So she said it's the first time ever using mohair in socks. She said, Noelle, thanks for the great suggestion. I just love them. I love them too. I just can't wear them in the summer. They're way too hot. But they are certainly nice and cozy for the winter. And let me just bring up, I do have a banner for that too. Okay, so this is our condiments make along. The bag winner is Knitting Grammy. So congratulations to Knitting Grammy. And then we had one more prize for the Condiments Makealong. And this was a prize donated by our friend Deborah from Yarn Indulgences. And this is beautiful. This is her Surrey silk fluff,
Yes.
which is a fingering weight Surrey alpaca. There's 400 meters or 437 yards in 50 grams. And this colorway, there's two. This colorway is called Beautiful Sky. And this just feels like a dream. It's so soft, so fluffy, and what a beautiful, and that's a perfect color actually for summer too.
It is. It is. It's gorgeous.
And this will be doesn't even count as stash. If you win this, doesn't even count as stash. It's just a condiment.
That's right.
Okay. And the winner of the yarn, let me just pull this up here. So the winner is Joy Lane 1, and she made a terrazzo slipover. She used 3 strands of Holsgarn Coast in the wisteria color, and she held it with 1 strand of Holsgarn Titicaca in the colorway Blossom. So she said, already for fall, it's definitely too warm to wear right now. So the Titicaca is a lace weight alpaca that she held with it, and it's turned out beautiful. But yes, probably it might be not condiment weather at the moment.
No.
So okay, and I'll just pull up a banner to make sure that Joy Lane sees her name here. Again, so that's a prize from the Condiments Makealong, and that's our yarn winner, Joy Lane 1. Okay, so if you are any of the people, actually, we've got one more to give away first.
Okay.
Before I pull that up. So we started last week, or not, no, it'll be 2 weeks ago now, right? 2 weeks ago, July 1st, we started our.
And I'm really glad that you remembered to do all of these prizes, because I was thinking today, do we have prizes? But I'm like, no, we're in the middle of July. We didn't have any prizes to give away. I have traveler's brain. I couldn't keep it straight. That's right. It was on the 31st or the 30th. 30th of June when we, Okay.
Okay, so we started our Christmas in July. We started that July 1st, and we just wanted you to make like a Christmas item and I know I had a comment about not everybody celebrates Christmas. So it can be a holiday ornament. It can be like, it can be like a snowman, or it doesn't have to be something specifically Christmas related, but it would be a holiday themed item.
Right.
So just to get it kickstarted, we said if you commented under the video, what you would like to make for Christmas or for the holidays, we would enter you in a draw for these beautiful mini skeins. This is a set from the Woolly Sheep family, which was gifted to the podcast by Michelle Eileen. So this colorway is called Gingerbread. So, whoops, there you go. And then it also comes with these really cute little, and they're not going to focus for me, really cute little stitch markers. But there's like some bells. There's a little polar bear wearing a Fair Isle sweater and a little Christmas tree. So that was just to kind of get kick-started. So let's see, we do have a winner for that as well. And the winner for that one is Victoria Hall 4961. So Victoria said she's casting on her candy cane socks from West Yorkshire Spinners, and she wants to make a matching gnome also with the leftovers. Was also thinking of making the Santa's laundry line.
Oh,
so those are really
that's a
cute
great
ornaments.
project.
That Santa's laundry line is adorable. So congratulations to all of our winners. And to get a hold of us, you can contact us at knitsandpiecespodcast@gmail.com. If you want a physical prize, we need your name, your address, and your phone number. Your full name, not your like, Knit Crazy Kathy. We need your full name.
Yes.
So congratulations to all of our winners. Okay. There we go.
And yes, we've switched sides, but I don't want to upset the internet gods, so we're going to stay switched tonight.
The names are not out. I'm Noelle. You're Kelly.
And I'm Kelly. Yeah.
As long as we remember.
That's right. Yes.
Okay. So, did you have any questions?
No.
No. Okay.
I have questions every day. Here's the kind of questions I've been dealing with, though. Where do I turn? Where's our next place? Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I had a couple of questions.
Okay.
One was, what do you do if you make a mistake in an I-cord and you have to fix it? I hate when I make a mistake in an I-cord because it is harder to fix. I usually probably go back a few rows, but I did a little bit of research on YouTube and I did find a tutorial, and I'm just going to pop it up here. Oh, that's not it. If I can find it. At least I thought I put it in here. Maybe I didn't.
I saw it in there. I'm sure you did.
I thought I did. I know I put it in, or maybe okay, just a minute. I know I put it, not that. That's not it.
Things have changed in the background here. And
why did they do that?
There we go.
Okay, so this is how to fix an I-cord edge. It is by the Unapologetic Knitter. So I will link that specific tutorial, and it is only it's only 5 or 6 minutes long, but she goes through how to fix it if you just kind of have to go back one row and kind of like how to line up your purl bumps and know what order they're in. And then she does go on and tell you how to fix it if you've made a mistake, like a few rows down or something. And it's only 5 minutes long. So I hope this helps. This was the one that I found that had the most views on it. And a lot of the comments on the views looked like it did help a lot when you're going to fix something.
Okay, perfect.
So I will link that in the show notes.
Okay.
So, okay, and the next question was, and we get this question a lot, weaving in cotton ends. So this viewer said that she watched something that said like to split the yarn, but then to knot it. Like if it's a yarn that I can separate fibers, I will separate the fibers. So let's say it's a 4-ply yarn. I will separate 2 and 2, and my new yarn coming in, I'll separate it 2 and 2, and then I'll place 2 of the ends together and knit with that for like 6 or 7 stitches. Yeah. And then you've just got the other end, which you can either try and weave in a little bit, or you can cut it off and leave maybe like an inch. I wouldn't cut it off right to the fabric because there's a chance it's going to pull out if you do that. Yes. Yeah. So I would leave about an inch. But yeah, like when I do like this is Lena. When I do Lena, it's got a lot of plies. So I will do that. If there's not a good place to join, I will separate the fibers and knit with half of my old one and half of my new one. So,
I do something very similar, but I don't, I do this with pretty much all of my yarns, and I don't treat cotton any differently. I do my weaving in of a few stitches as I add the new strand. Then I will knit several stitches together as you do. And then I weave out, like going forward and back, I weave out the old end that I'm getting rid of. And then when I'm finished the sweater, I will go back and I will just come back a little bit with the weaving, but I will cut and I will leave a tail inside of a cotton sweater that's a good 1.5 to 2 inches long, because I want to make sure that that's never coming out on a cotton sweater. And I'm okay with that tail in there. I do try to make sure that I get the tail either like usually sort of in the under, like here, I'll make sure that I join like midway so that it's, I wouldn't want to join it front and center just in case it showed. I've never had one show, but I will try to hide the join in an inconspicuous area on the sweater.
You can also, it's easier to hide a join. Like if you're doing a textured pattern like this, like somewhere where the texture changes is a good place to join, because there's kind of a change in the direction of the stitch pattern at that point anyway. So if you do have to join like mid-row, if it's textured, like try and do it where there's break in texture. Best places if you can get like under the arm, or if you were doing cables, sometimes at the beginning of a cable, like somewhere where there's something happening already. So a little bit of a change is not that obvious in your finished garment. So,
okay.
The next question was about short rows. So this question was like, okay, so you know how in some short rows, they will tell you like, knit 15 stitches, turn, knit back, and then you knit 15 stitches in the other direction. And then the next row, you go to the 15 stitches and then you do another 5 and the same thing back. Okay, but this pattern that the person was working on, it told you to like knit 50 stitches, come back, and then go across and just knit 45 stitches, and then come back. So your short rows are going in a reverse direction. So what happens is in the first example, you're starting your short rows just with a little thing like this, and you keep going out like this. So you get like a pyramid wedge. The
Mhm.
other one, you're
Yep.
starting like this and you're going down like this. So you're getting an inverted pyramid wedge.
Yes.
Now,
And
what's better or worse? I don't know. Like that's what she said. Is one way better than another? Or I honestly don't know. I'm
I don't think
sure
it
I
makes a
have done it
difference.
both ways.
I have too. Yeah.
So
I think it depends on where you want to put your short rows, right? The one where you're talking about it coming down this way, that would be great if you're doing like a high-low hem at the back of a sweater and you want it the back, like your tail end of your sweater to be a little bit longer. Generally, our short rows are up here, like under the neckline or at the back to make the neck up a little bit higher. So I think that's why we're going out from a starting at a shorter point, because you think like your neck is narrower and you're going out wider. So your stitches are going out the way you're talking about. But I've definitely done them both ways. And I love doing short rows. They're my favorite part of a sweater.
Julia says that Suzanne Bryant has a good review of short rows and why and how to do them. So that would be, I'll see if I can find that and I'll link it too, because that would be a good thing to look at. Mindy says one is more gradual and the other is a bit more obvious. Yeah, I know I've done both, and I should probably pay attention to that, because I know that definitely some sweaters fit me better than others, and I've never thought about going back and thinking about whether or not it was the shaping in the short rows.
Yeah,
but that's a good thing to go back and look at, right? Because maybe some people need it to be more this way if your shoulder's a little bit broader to go and going down, as opposed to going out. Because if your shoulders are narrower, maybe if you go out, you're going to get like a bulge of that fabric in the back.
I also wonder, like, it could be a little bit, it's designer preference too, right?
Yep.
It could just be a bit of that as well. So, and Leanne, you're very welcome. Leanne had asked a question about resolving stitches, and I referred her to the method that Patty Lyons has. And like, that's the only method I use. And I find that my stitches lay nice and flat, just the way I would like them. So.
Okay, and then the last question that I had, and this one I do have a slide for. Where is it? Okay, so this person is saying that the pattern gauge of what they're working is working on a 4mm needle or a size 4 needle. The yarn matches the pattern gauge, but they need to go to a size 5. The stitch gauge is 21. She was afraid it would take more yarn or come out larger. If your stitch gauge is right, and you're following everything else exactly, it shouldn't take more yarn or come out larger. Where it will come out larger and where you're going to take more yarn is if your stitch gauge is off, right? If your stitch gauge matches what the pattern is, it should take whatever the amount of yarn that the pattern calls for.
Yes.
So the next question, if the pattern has 3 purl stitches on the end of the prior row and then 3 slip stitches on the following row, she says it's very loose, very sloppy. So that sounds like it's an I-cord edge.
It does.
And a lot of times an I-cord edge doesn't look good until you've gotten a few rows in there.
Yes.
When you first start to do it, and I guess make sure that you're not doing those stitches. You want to maybe tighten them up a bit. Well, you don't want your I-cord too tight though, but it does take a few rows for you to see that I-cord edge folding over and looking the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anybody else has.
Yeah. I always give that yarn an extra little tug on that I-cord edge too. I just like to see it coming together quickly. And then once I find once I'm in a rhythm, then I'm much more relaxed. But you're right. Those first few rows look a little bit sloppy until you get going. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully once you get into it, you'll see that's looking a lot more like the I-cord, because you're pulling those stitches in every row. So it takes a few rows for it to kind of look like it's doing what it's supposed to do. So, okay. That was it for questions.
Okay.
So maybe we should move on to what we're wearing.
Sure. I just want to go back. There was a comment quickly though. Somebody asked me what drops we were giving Roxy to travel, what natural drops. And I can't remember the name right now, but if you send me a message on Instagram, then I will get the name of them and I will refer that back to you. So they were veterinary approved. So, and our traveling friends are using them for their dog as well. So it can be used for cats or dogs.
Okay. So do you want to tell us what you're wearing, Kelly?
Sure. I am wearing the Cloud 9 tee and I have a banner. by Andrea Yatman. And this is, I've worn this before on the podcast, so this is nothing really new, but I did put in a couple of pictures from Ravelry just to show you a close-up. It has this beautiful lace panel down the front, and it has a 3-needle exposed bind off on the sleeve. So it makes a nice seam line, and this is what the sweater looks like. It's just a crop sweater. This is a sweater. It doesn't matter where I travel. There's a fly in here. It's driving me nuts. Doesn't matter. And he's like right on my equipment. But wherever I travel, this sweater goes with me. It was made with the Barocco Chai, which is a blend. It's linen and silk, I believe. Yes, linen and silk. And this sweater just keeps getting better and better and better the longer I have it. And there you can see the exposed 3-needle bind off. So it's just a perfect sweater. It's nice. Very breathable. It's really cozy. And the more I wash it, and I just lay it out flat to dry, the better it gets. It's just a comfortable sweater. So I threw it in with me. I only brought 3 sweaters. We've done 3 podcasts. So I have now exhausted my knitting wardrobe, although I did finish the sweater this week. So if I'm not home by next Tuesday, which I plan to be, then I will have a sweater to wear for next week that you haven't seen. Okay.
I am wearing the Margot top by Gregoria Fibers, and I just have a couple of pictures. So this is done in Sand and Skarn Lena, which is a cotton viscose linen blend. Mm-hmm. And this is the colorway Sunny Lime. And this sweater was knit on let me see here, I wrote it down, a 3.25 for the rib and a 3.75 for the main body of the sweater. It took 3.4 skeins. I did do, I believe, the smallest size, and I did modify it just a bit. So I modified it. The original sweater, you went straight up from the armhole, so you had a little bit of overhang over at the top. I didn't want that, so I kind of cast off some stitches and just went in a little bit so it would finish more just at the top of the shoulder. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, and again, the Sand and Skarn Lena, beautiful yarn to work with. It drapes nicely. It's easy care, wash and wear. It's relatively affordable, a little bit more expensive than Drops Bell, but it does come in a lot more colors than Drops Bell.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like it. The pattern was fun to knit because you're on to the next like little pattern repeat on it. Like it's all textured all the way up, but they're very easy repeats. So you just, you'll want to get to the next one and do the next one. So it works up really quickly.
Okay.
So, okay.
Oh, Tammy's asking about the brand of mattress that I bought. Okay. I will link it. In the show notes. That will go up tomorrow, Tammy, so you can see it in there. And it's a great mattress. Okay.
Next. So did you finish anything?
I did. I finished 3 things.
Okay. I have 4.
Oh, I thought, maybe this week I'll get 3 things. I'll be ahead of her. But anyway. Okay. Then you get to start.
Two of mine are knitting. 2 of them are spinning.
Okay.
Because it's Tour de Fleece.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So I'll do one of my spinning ones first. So this is the first time I've ever spun alpaca. This is 100% baby alpaca. And this is 50 grams. I ended up getting 220 meters. So like I'm spinning quite fine. And this fiber came from, just a minute here, Shades of You Fiberworks. It's hand dyed in Nova Scotia. So I actually got that the last time I was in Nova Scotia. So, and that this is not what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a picture of it, and I'm going to take a picture of it washed because I haven't washed it yet. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I want to see how much it plumps up. But I don't know if you can see, but there's all little bit of different bits of like a grayish pink and a grayish blue with the plain white. And it feels beautifully soft. And I forgot how much I like spinning. I got back into it and I forgot how much I liked it. But hopefully it won't end after Tour de Fleece is over. So that's my first finish.
Okay.
So,
my first finish, because they're on blockers, I finished my Mountain's Edge socks by Nancy Wheeler. I have
Nice.
two. I have
Beautiful.
two. They are beautiful. This, like,
They
I
match your
cannot speak.
top.
They do. They match my top. They actually match an awful lot of things that I have. This is the color green that I tend to have a lot of. This pattern, I can't speak enough about how much I loved doing this pattern. The cables at the front were really not tricky, but just like enough interest to really keep you wanting to knit the next one. So I had to do 11 repeats of this, and you can see just how pretty it is.
Yep.
And this yarn, this yarn. So this is the bamboo sock by Yarn Indulgences. Here's her label. And I got this in Knit City, Montreal. I still have some left. I can't remember. But it's her. Look at that. It's just
nice.
It's so beautiful. It's not like it's variegated, but it's not like a glaring variegate. It's just very, very subtle. And I think, I mean, I'm maybe biased because these are now mine, but I happen to think that this colorway is the perfect colorway for these socks. And I am really happy with them. I don't want to rush summer away because I'm really enjoying summer, but I'm going to be excited to wear these. And because I did them all in one color, these are, according to my rules, these are clog approved because I like the heel to be the same color as the rest of the sock. Nancy writes such a great pattern. This is a traditional heel flap and gusset, but she just has little finishing tips and tricks in all of her patterns that are just really make them worth knitting. Absolutely. Okay, so that's finish number 1.
Okay, so my next finish is again spinning, but this is, I don't know if you can see, it's got like
that's really pretty in it. Yes.
So this was spun from Rolex, and it was one of the first kind of bigger spins that I did from Rolex.
Okay.
This was, we got it at Woolstock back 2 years ago. Yeah. And I just fell in love with the colors. So there's 135 grams here, and I have over 700 meters. So I'm almost spinning like a lace weight yarn.
Wow.
So I'm going to hold that, I think, with the mohair, and I think I might do a ranunculus with it. So I use a Ashford e-spinner, and love it. I love it. So I just, again, it's like when I sit down and do it, I'm so happy doing it. I don't know why I don't spin more. So that was 150 grams. And when I spin, I had separated it, and I did 2 bobbins, and then I plied it just a 2-ply. And then I had a little bit left on one of the bobbins. So when I have a little bit left, then I take it and I chain ply what I've got left for practice in chain plying. So I've actually got enough chain plied here that I can actually make some of my little socks, which I haven't got any more done of yet. But I've got enough to do a couple of probably 2 little pairs of socks. Oh, I'm holding it out of I'm so used to being on the other side.
I know. Sorry.
It's okay. So yeah. So really pretty, really fun. Having a lot of fun spinning. So
they're really pretty.
Yeah. And I was my friend Heather, we said, okay, we're gonna do it, but we didn't say you have to spin this much, or you have to you have to finish this, or like do a sweater spin. We just said we're gonna spin for an hour a day. And for the most part,
a whole hour a day.
An hour. So there was one day where I didn't quite get an hour, but there are other days where I got a little more than an hour. If I spun thicker, I could spin more. But spinning, like you figured, that's over 700 meters plied. That means it was like 1,400 before I plied it.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah. But I have my next fiber picked out. I'll show you that when we go into another part. But yeah, so I do want to hopefully keep at it, and because I've got a lot of fleece, hopefully I can get into doing a sweater spin. So
okay, and so Sarah, she's spinning as well for Tour de Fleece, and she is saying that she's trying to do between 40 to 50 grams a day, which is half a braid.
Yeah,
that's a lot, right?
Yeah.
How long would that take you?
Well, spinning at that, spinning at that weight in the hour, I can probably do like maybe 13 or 14 grams in a day.
Okay.
Spinning like that fine. So
Oh, see, I just think I'd like to buy it instead. Have somebody
Yeah,
else
but
do the
it's fun
work.
doing it. It's not the
It
same. Not the
is.
same. No,
No, it's not
not
the
the
same.
same of you.
No.
So
And Sue is in here and she says she hasn't started yet, but she did clean and oil her
there you
wheel.
go.
So there you go, Sue. You are good to go.
Yeah.
Good to go.
So
All right.
yeah, and it's, like sometimes, and I have to say, there was 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
Zoe's staying with me for the week, so there hasn't been as much time to do. She is going to camp during the day, but she is here. And when she finally went to bed on Sunday night, and she was in bed in good time, but I was exhausted, and I sat down and I was spinning the alpaca, and it just kept breaking and breaking. And I thought, Noelle, walk away from the wheel. So I just thought, okay, I'm done. I walked away from it, and I sat and spun the next morning and had no problems with it whatsoever. So if you get to that point where you're frustrated because it's not going, walk away from it. Like it's not, it's only going to keep breaking if you're frustrated because you're not relaxed and you're not. So just take a break from it, and hopefully it will be better the next time you sit down at it. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Amy is doing 15 minutes a day.
Spindle. I can't do that. I can't do that.
But she's traveling for work. She's traveling for work. So yeah.
Someday, maybe someday. I mean, I said I'd never spin, so you never know, right?
And Leanne says that she has an e-spinner called the Argonaut, but she's silly and she's been intimidated to start working.
Leanne, just
get going.
Again. And just when I got mine, I just started. I thought was the same thing. I'm going to do 15 minutes a day. If I get frustrated, I'm walking away from it and go back the next day. So, and it's amazing. Like I have mine set up all the time, and it's amazing. You can sit down for 5 minutes and just spin, and then like go off and do something else. Or, you're waiting for the air fryer to finish cooking something, just sit down and spin.
But I have a question. So because I'm not a spinner, so this is why I have questions. So if you let's say you sit down today and you spun for an hour, and it was a really good hour. You were in the groove. You were doing everything right. But then you were spinning tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow didn't feel as good at the wheel. Would you see a difference in your spinning?
By the time most of it's never going to be like a yarn. I mean, at least I don't do a single ply where it's just going to be a single ply. So in the end, your yarn's going to get plied with something else anyway, whether it be another ply or another 2 plies. So a lot of it just evens out in the end.
Okay.
And even some of it, when it looks like it's thick and thin and whatever, you'd be surprised how much it even ends up when you knit it.
Okay.
Right? And you can always hold it with a condiment.
Okay. Yeah, you could. That's right. And we have no shortages of those. Yes. Kathy says that she's looked at the Ashford traditional and she's been dabbling in sewing. Yeah. And about the sewing. So I brought my English paper piecing project with me to work on. I have 6 quilt squares to do for my quilt that is at home, and I haven't touched it. I don't know. I just had this. Well, I think I talked about this 2 weeks ago. I said I packed enough projects that could probably keep me busy for a few months. And even though I'm here for a month, I don't have the time. I don't have the time. I don't know where the time is going. We only have a week left. I can't believe it's been 3 weeks, but anyway. Okay. So the other project that I finished is the Twisting Trails Toe Up Socks by Forest City Knits. Also a pattern I love. Look at this. How cute.
Yeah. Pretty.
They're so pretty. They turned out I feel this is like the perfect summer pair of socks too. I just think the color is lovely. And I can see it on camera. I can see it with my own eye, but I can see it on camera that there is a little difference between the two in the speckles. This one is slightly less speckled than this one. It happens, right? I guess it just happens. But on my feet, I feel at least they look like I have had some skeins of yarn where it really didn't even look that they
same
were
yarn.
Same yarn. They were so different, but these ones are pretty good. So this was a really fun pattern to do. Completely potato chippy, not something that I could knit on and not watch. I had to watch because of this this pattern that's in here. Like when I would get to that, I'd have to look. But then doing the back, I mean, I don't have to watch when I'm doing that. It's a shadow wrap heel, which I really like in a sock. And I did them a little differently because apparently there was supposed to be pattern on the back as well. And I didn't read the pattern because I just thought, oh, once I got to the heel, I knew what to do. And I just kept going. No, I should have read the pattern because they were toe up as well. So I didn't have pattern on the foot, obviously. And then the pattern also showed the heel being the contrast. And again, I like my heels to match some socks. Like I've got a lot of contrast heels, but I don't have very many where it's all the same color. So I'd like to start increasing my sock wardrobe to that. So I did contrast toes and cuffs. And then I put on just this little bit of a contrast at the cuffs again. And I converted, so it is a 2x1 rib that you can see on the cuff. And then I converted that to a 1x1, and I did Lori's twisty bind off to get this. It's not quite a picot edge, but it does have this little thing to it.
Zigzags a little
ziggy zag. Yeah. And you can really see it when you take it off the blocker and look at it this way. It's kind of got that little zigzag, which I like. I think it looks great as a cute little finish for a sock. So yeah, so these are done, and happy to have those off needles too, because I felt like they were on there for a long time. But anyway, okay. So that's finish number 2 for me.
Okay, so my next finish is the Corn Maze Socks by Dana Rae Makes. So there's finished pair. So these are mosaic socks. They are done with Scrumptious Pearl Stripe Me Up in the colorway Sunset Boulevard. So this is what,
so pretty.
Oops, I just dropped a little piece. This is what I've got left. So I've got it hanging off there. I did have to roll off a little bit to get them to match up a bit, but I've got 51 grams of this left. And then the cream color in there is Lion Brand Sockies in the colorway Marshmallow. And I used, how much of that? I used 30 grams of the marshmallow. So mosaic, so there's like, what's that? 78 grams. So mosaic does use up a little bit more yarn because you're kind of going around and slipping stitches. So you get a little bit denser fabric where you're doing the mosaic. So the only change that I made in the pattern, well, I started off with just a little bit of the pink, then just did a plain color cuff. Then I couldn't decide at first what I was going to do with the heels and the toes, but I kind of bullseyed them. So it is an afterthought heel. I did go back and do it after. So in the sock, she has you just do plain stripes down at the bottom here. But when I got down to this part, all I did was I kept the mosaic going, but instead of doing the purl stitches, anything that was purl, I just did in knit stitches up here, because if I hold that up, you can kind of see it's purl stitches. But then when you get down into the foot part, the purl stitches are only on the front of the foot and not on the sole of the foot.
Yeah.
So, but I wanted to keep the pattern going for the whole way instead of like just doing stripes, because the mosaic also does cinch it in a bit. So if you just do stripes, what'll happen is the sole of your foot's going to end up being longer than the top part of your foot. So, but by keeping the mosaic and doing the same slip stitches, you kind of get the same length of the foot the whole way down. Yeah. So they were fun. They would be great socks to use up like a mini skein set.
Yes.
Like they look really neat in a
they
fade.
would.
Yep. Or just scraps that you've got. And yeah, they were a fun pattern to knit. So, and again, I've got enough left of the self-striping colorway to do like a pair of shorty socks, just with a contrast heel and toe. So okay.
Oh, I see there's a couple of people that are making the ones that I just finished too. Kim's nearly finished hers, and Tammy said she loves hers too. They're a great fit. I'm excited to wear them.
Which ones? The twisting toe? Yeah.
Those, and you made them too, right?
I made them. Yeah, I tested them when she got them out. Yeah, they were fun to make.
They're really
too. I
pretty.
Like the pattern.
They are. I really like it. It's just a fun little pattern. Okay. All right. So my next finish, although my ends are not woven in yet, so but don't come at me and judge me. I will do that. I finished my overdue test knit for Jennifer, the Riptide Tee, and I love it. I love it. This is so
nice.
It's I love it. I love it. I even still have my stitch markers in it. So I've got some tidying up to do, but I figured, well, I can't block it while I'm here. And I suppose I could. And in fact, I may even wear it unblocked. It's not that bad. So this was knit in a cotton yarn, but look at this color. This color is so good. And it has this beautiful, I have no pictures of it yet, but this beautiful the riptide pattern that goes down the front. It's a really lovely V-neck. It's a modest V-neck. You don't have to worry about it being too deep. And then she repeats. Well, the sleeve looks a little tidier because I wove these ends in. It repeats here on the sleeve edge. So this is it's a similar shape to this sweater in that it's whoops, go this way. It's a drop shoulder with just this little bit of a sleeve happening here. So this is a very similar fit, and it's a boxy sweater. So it does have a few inches of ease. And then the other thing that I want to show is here. I can do it this way. So that pattern goes all the way down the front, and then it has this really pretty border on it as well for the hem.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's a really lovely sweater, and it is the pattern has been released now. I know I was tardy in getting mine done, but I know I'm going to get a lot of wear out of this one. This will be great with jeans or a pair of like white jeans for summer, and I'm just really happy with it. Jennifer writes honestly the best patterns, and her attention to detail is so good. Like you end up with a garment that feels so professionally finished. And this is great yarn too. I don't think I have a ball band near me. No, I don't. But this was the Queensland dungaree, and this is made out of recycled denim jeans, and it's so soft and so drapey, and it is a 95% cotton and I think 5% viscose. It has the odd time you'll see like these little neppy nubs that are in there, but honestly, it's got such a great drape. I think this is going to be a really good sweater that I get a lot of wear out of. So I'm happy with this. Happy to have it finished too.
Okay, so my next finish is my Stromboli by Caitlin Hunter. So here it is. This is done in Sonder Yarns, Fleece and Flax, and this colorway is called Wake Up Call. So it took 1.56 skeins. So it's a fingering weight yarn. It's got, I believe, 395 meters in 100 grams. The composition of it is...
It's fingering? I thought it was sport.
It's fingering. No,
it's fingering. Okay.
Yep. So there is, it was 395 meters. It's a composition of BFL and linen. So there's 75% BFL, 25% linen, and it just has beautiful drape. It's beautiful to work with. So I did follow the pattern. However, she said that the yarn, well, she used fingering weight yarn, but she got 22 stitch gauge. My stitch gauge is closer to probably 24. So the finished size of a size 1 was supposed to be like 43 or 44. Mine finishes 38, which is like where I wanted it. 44 would be too much. And my row gauge was a little bit different. So I did do one extra. Well, actually, I did do the number of repeats that it said. But once I got up here and I split and I did the rest, I figured it was going to be too short. So I don't think I joined yet. So I went back, even though I'd split, I did it longer. So I cast on a couple of extra stitches under the arm.
Okay.
So that I could seam it up after. So there was about this much that I seamed up after. And now it's like perfect. It comes like just kind of to my belly button. So it's fine with jeans. So part of the sweater, I blocked it before I finished it because I wasn't sure, even with that one extra repeat, whether it was going to be long enough. So I blocked everything but the sleeves. The sleeves have not been blocked, but I blocked before I did the sleeves.
Okay.
And for some reason or other, I used a 3.5 millimeter needle on the main part of the sweater. I used a 3.25 on the ribs. For some reason, I did the sleeves on a 4 millimeter and they turned out perfect. I don't know why I did a 4 millimeter needle. I didn't do it on purpose.
It was meant to be.
They actually turned out, they worked into that, the armhole edge beautifully. So I'll give it like a final block. And yeah, I love this yarn. I want to cast on. I have another sweater's quantity of it, and I might be casting it on like tomorrow. But I just love working with this yarn. So
I brought it with me, and I have to figure something to cast on because now I don't have a sweater on the needles anymore, right?
And I just like look, it's just so nice and really light and drapey, and
yeah, it's really pretty.
So yeah, and I love the colors that it comes in. So
good.
Okay. So do you have any? Oh, there were a couple of questions here that I did star. Okay. So Janice wanted to know, how do you weave in ends when you do the contrast color at the top of the cuff? So do you want to show yours, Kelly?
Sure.
How you weave in your ends?
Yep. So surprisingly, when you weave in ends, so what I try to do is go down so when you turn it inside out, the purl stitch becomes your knit row. So I weave my color work down in there. And you can see I've left this little nubby. I leave that on purpose, just so it's not going to pop out on the color work side. And generally that does it for me. Like it won't move. So I go down one side of that rib, and then I come back up the other side of it. And then I will cut it off and leave that little nub. And that's how I do it. So
okay.
What about you?
This one's a little bit of a cheat because I use this color again.
Okay.
So I was using that, so I wasn't going to cut it off and weave it in there. But obviously, if you're doing like you're doing, you're going to a completely different color. You kind of have to.
Yeah.
But you can see there, my whites I make sure that when I weave in, I go so many stitches one way, turn it, and come so many stitches back. But I do try to do mine within the color. And I try to keep it down as far down the sock as you can, far away from the edge as you can, so that if you do cut it and you don't leave very much of it, you don't want that poking up the top. So yeah, try and do it like right as close to where that color change. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with weaving it into that color change anyway, because you can't see it on the other side of the sock.
That's right.
So
yeah.
And then the other question was, what size needle do you use for mohair socks? So it depends what you're holding with it, because you can do mohair socks with a DK weight yarn, which would obviously you'd be holding a bigger needle than if you just used a fingering weight. I believe with a fingering weight and a mohair,
3 1/4.
No, I think I only use a 3.
A 3? Okay. I couldn't remember if it was a 3 or a 3 1/4.
But it all depends on your gauge, right?
Right. If you wanted to be sure about mine, because I'm never sure about things like this, but if you look at my Ravelry page, I always list my needle sizes in there, so you could see that. But I feel like I think the pattern called for 3 1/4, and I felt that was too loose, so I think I went down to a 3.
A 3. I'm pretty sure I used a 3.
I think so. And that was for me using a fingering and a mohair. I'm pretty sure it was also 48 stitches that I cast on, I think. Yeah. Does that sound right to you? I haven't done one in a while.
Yeah.
I think it's 48.
I have so many socks with different numbers of stitches that I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was 48. So, and that would be like for a lady's 8 to 8.5. Yeah. Okay.
So do you have any whips?
I do. Okay. I do. I have a couple.
I have 3.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So my first one is, I am started on my next pair of Christmas socks, even though I don't have any of the little socks done. I'm keeping on top of the other.
Okay. Well, that's good.
I'm working on
that's something.
The Floristan by Ku'ua Coffee. So this is my next pair, and this is what the socks look like. So I can't remember if it was the Count of Monte Cristo. I'll have to look it up for next time, what the actual story behind the sock is. But anyway, this is a free pattern on Ravelry, and this is what I've got.
I love the way her pattern migrates down into that heel.
Yeah,
that looks so good. Yeah.
So there's what I've got
Very nice
so far. So I am using, see, again, I'm on the wrong side. This is, okay, let's see if it'll focus. Why are we having such a hard time focusing?
I don't know.
Anyway, this is from Moray Fibers, and I got this in Fergus. So this is 70% superwash merino, 20% bamboo, 10% nylon, which I believe was the composition of the ones that you just did.
Yeah.
But this skein of yarn was 120 grams, 425 meters. So lots of yardage in here. And this colorway is called Fire Bricks. So yeah, so I'm really enjoying it. There are 88 stitches around on this sock, 88 stitches, because all of the cabling takes in like the circumference around. So in order to get the stretch to be able to fit on, you do have a lot more stitches, but I've actually, I don't need the pattern anymore. I can do it without the pattern. So that makes it a lot easier to go through and do the sock. So according to the pattern, they would have ended the leg here. Well, that wasn't long enough for me. So I'm doing another full repeat of the pattern. And the pattern is 24 rows. So they were going to end it after 48 rows, and that's not long enough. So I'm going on to do another full repeat of the pattern before I start into the heel. And yeah, so I got to get moving on that. But I've been having so much fun with sweaters and things that anyway.
Okay. So that was Roxy, who just woke up from her nap and made a little appearance. So here's what so in keeping with our little Makealong, Christmas in July, I'm working out of this book, and I do not have a lot to show for it. I'm sorry. You know what? Here's what I've done. I've taken to, normally I would sit up here at the table. I would kind of set up here at night and do some work, right? Knitting or crocheting. But lately it's been kind of cozy to hop into bed and get in like that hotel knitting feel, like where you're laying in bed knitting. But here's the problem. I've been so darn tired. I'll do something a little bit, and then I'm like this, and I'm asleep in the bed, sitting up. But anyway, so I cast on, I'll show you the one I'm doing.
Cast on or hooked on?
Hooked on. Yeah, we talked about this. Did we ever come up with the term?
Chained on. I don't know.
Chained on.
Started.
It just says, like, it doesn't even say that. It just says, single crochet in a magic ring. So it doesn't even say cast on or anything. So I don't really know what the term is, but here's the one I'm doing. I am doing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Gnome.
No. That's cute.
Gnome, yes. I don't have red though. So even if I were to get him finished, he's going to be unfinished, but I'll show you the pitiful amount that I've gotten done. I have gotten done the top of his hat. That's it. I have the top of his hat done. But, okay. She does have, this is interesting. For the crocheting, she has you do a different stitch, and I don't want to give away what the stitch is. You're going to have to buy the book. This is, hang on, I have a banner too for him. Maria Ermolova. This book is really well written, but she has an interesting way of having you do the single crochet stitch for her gnome so that you get a really tight weave, and it looks like a little X. Like, I can show it to you. Look at that. Can you see that? Is that coming in? See how the stitches look like little X's? So you get this really good weave. Like, there's no way that stuffing would show through your crochet stitches. So also I realized I brought my crochet hooks with me, and then realized that I did not have a 2.5 that I needed to do the crochet. I have this whole little bag of all my colors, right? And I didn't, now I just pulled stitches out, but I didn't bring with me the right crochet hook, or I don't have it. I don't know. So that was another trip. That took me a few days to organize myself to find a place. I went to a couple of stores, yarn stores, and they didn't have crochet hooks. So the next thing I do now is I start onto the brown, which will be the body of my little Rudolph. I'll do the brown, and then you go back after and do his little hat band. But it's pretty fun, and I brought stuffing with me. So I worked on this on the drive today. But I will also say I can't mindlessly do single crochet on a tiny needle and not look at it. So I was trying not to miss all the views, right, while I was doing this. But I did get that started anyway. So it is technically a work in progress, but not much to show for.
Well, his hat is done.
His hat is done. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, and you know what? Considering a gnome is truly only a hat and a body, one could argue that I'm half done. So hopefully he'll be done by next week, right? Or everything except the nose, because I don't have red for, yeah, I'll have to get some at the mitten.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a question here about the amount of negative E's you choose for gift knitting socks. So what I always do is 64 stitches for women and 72 stitches for men. If you're concerned about it being too small or too big, the best thing to do is do a ribbed sock, like a 2x2 or a 3x1 rib, because it's going to give you more stretch and give in the sock. And it's going to be able to fit a variety of sizes of feet. And another good thing is don't go too high in the leg of it, because when you get into calves, a lot of people have wider calves. So, you know, keep it like maybe 6-7 inches from the top to the heel. And and that I find that works for most of the ones that I've done. So unless you know that the person's got, you know, like a specifically out of the normal range of shoe size, or, and in which case usually it ends up you just need to end up knitting like the foot longer as opposed to changing the circumference around. Okay, so my next whip.
And, okay, before we move away from that, negative E's as far as length of the foot too. I generally shoot for about a 1/2 inch shorter sock than the length of the foot. I don't know. Yeah.
And if you know the shoe size, you can actually go to there's the Craft Council has Yarn Craft Council has like a size and tells you how long to knit for a specific shoe size. So I have linked it before. I'll link that the link to the Craft Council showing that. I'll link that in the show notes as well.
Yeah. So. And Leanne, you're exactly right. If the DRK everyday socks are good for gifting.
It's good sock. Yeah.
They always get a laugh when somebody opens them, because we all know that they look funny, but
they fit great.
They fit so good. And also, if you're knitting those for somebody that you must really like them, that's a very sock-worthy person, because they are a little bit of a longer knit. All of that, they are a 2x2 rib for the entire sock. And I have gift knit them away too, but they are far and away some like absolutely amazing fitting socks. And then there's the bear paw socks, which is basically the same sock, but it's in a DK weight. Yeah.
Okay, so my next whip is the Plain Yoke Tee 22 by Lynette, who is Lean Home Samso. And I do have, let's see if I have a picture. Here we go. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So it's just like a plain, little bit loose fitting roll neck t-shirt. The reason it's 22 is because that's the gauge, that's the stitch gauge. I have started it. So it is a circular yoke until you get to a certain point, and then it's raglan increases, which I really like. Like that's the same composition as the ranunculus. And I think it gives you a nice fit. So I am doing mine in Lang Yarns Linello, and this is, again, it is a cotton viscose linen, but I think the composition is a little bit different than the Lena. So this one is actually 40% linen, 32% cotton, and 28% viscose. It is a gradient yarn. So here's what.
Oh, fun.
Here's what I have.
It's more stripy than I thought.
So but it's and this is the reason that I'm doing this one. And because it's yoked and my sleeves are basically finished, they're just going to have like a little bit of a rolled edge when I get done.
So it won't adjust the length of your gradient.
No, it won't break up any of the striping. And when I have joined a new ball in, I rolled off so that I could join
Yeah.
exactly where, so you couldn't,
Yes.
it would be like a seamless join as far as the stripes go. So I really, really like the feel of this yarn. So I'm knitting it on a 3.75 millimeter needle. I am getting the stitch gauge of 22, and yeah, I'm really happy with it. So again, like it's round yoke. She has you do lifted increases, so I think it makes it really seamless. You can't really see them.
It does.
And then you get down to a certain point, and then you do raglan for maybe about an inch and a half before you divide for the sleeves. So yeah, and the only change I'm making is I am doing waist shaping, just to give it a little bit of shape. And then the bottom of the sweater looks like it's just a rolled edge too. But yeah, so this is the I see what colorway this is. This yarn only comes in colorways. This is colorway number 1066.0015. So
easy to remember. So easy to remember.
Anyways, yeah, so I'm really do like it. So
I like it. It's really nice.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. I have something else on the go too, which I had sitting in this bag. I want to show this bag again. I made this a while ago, not too long ago at all. I'm trying to remember what it's called. The market tote bag. This is that crocheted bag that I made. Honestly, this hasn't left my side. This has been with me for the entire trip. I keep throwing all of my projects in here and I just carry it everywhere. And the nice thing about it is because it is like super easy, soft cotton. If I get it dirty, I can just throw it in the laundry and wash it. And this was the Yarnsmith DK that I got from Wool Warehouse. And like, I've taken this thing to the beach. It has gone everywhere. This has been like a super great bag to take along. And it was a free pattern. And it only took me a couple of evenings to do. So the next thing that I'm working on is I put socks back on the needle, and they will be coming off the needle because they're too big. They're massive. Oh. So we have a conversation to have here. So this is using yarn that I got in Montreal, and it is a Zauberball, and using the yarn that was gifted to us from Elite Spun. This is her 80/20 sock bear. So no issue with this yarn. This is good. But this, although it is fingering, I cast on my 64 stitches. I'm doing a toe up because I had an idea in mind. This isn't a pattern. This is just something I'm doing myself. They're super cute because it's going to be a gradient color working up through the foot. These are very wide. They're like very wide. Like for reference, let me just show you how wide these are. Okay, here's like, oops. Well, I guess I could do it the right way here. Hang on a second. Look.
Well, do you have more stitches?
I have 64 stitches. The same as I have in all of the socks that I make. So I guess here's my question. And I talked to Deborah about this, which I'll get into that after, about a meetup that I had with Deborah and Sophie. So what I'm thinking, this does look a little on the thick side. Does anybody else have experience knitting with these Zauberballs? And do you actually think that they are fingering, or are they more of a sport? I don't know.
I've knit with them, and I knit a 64 stitch sock, and it was fine.
Okay, so I'm using a 2.25 needle.
There's different. Are you sure it's a Zauberball and not the Zauberball 6 or something?
No, it is 100 grams. Hang on. 420 meters and 100 grams. That is a fingering weight.
Yeah.
All day long. It's a 75/25.
But your white doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
Like your white doesn't look like it comes in.
This is no, I know. I'm so confused. And is it because I'm doing something toe up, but yet I just finished those ones?
It will be different than those other ones because they've got that cable pattern all across. Like I would
Yeah, I
measure
know,
the
but I've knit lots of socks in a sock weight yarn in a 64 stitch, and I've never had a sock this big. These are very big socks, very big. And this is a 2.25 needle. So I don't know.
Did you put it on your foot?
Yes, I could get my foot and half of my other foot in there. I feel like they're very wide. I don't have a, do I have a measuring device just to tell you? I'm sure I do somewhere. I can't find one right now, but you saw how much wider it was than the other sock. And even if I were to pull up even this sock, okay, which is another 64-inch sock, it is significantly wider. So what the what? I don't know what's going on. So I actually think to get these to work, I'm going to have to tear it out. And you all know how much I love tearing something out. My energy level goes as soon as I tear something out. But like, I think I have to cast on 56 stitches. I don't know. Because I can't do 60. 60 would still be too big.
I know, also, but I would be worried about when you get up
to the heel. I know.
Now Tracy said, she says her hour ball is 437 yards, but it's 150 grams.
Okay, hang on a minute. Let me go back here. Nope, this one definitely says, okay, no, this says something different now. Hold on a minute. Oh, I don't know what that says. I don't read German. 420 meters in 100 grams. That part I can read at the bottom. That is a sock weight yarn. So
I know I've done yarn with that and didn't find it any different. So unless you just got something that's labeled wrong.
I don't know. I don't know. No, I don't think I do. And you're right. Like the white yarn isn't going in at all.
No.
I honestly wonder if it had something to do with, like, even the toe is so wide. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. I'm so frustrated because in my mind, like, I had this cute little pattern that I wanted to make, and like but this will not work at 60 stitches. This little zigzag that I put in, it works at 64, it works at 56. It's an 8-stitch repeat. So I can't change that. I don't know. I even want, like, is it because I'm toe up and somehow, I don't know, is my gauge?
No, that shouldn't make a difference.
Well, okay, you say it shouldn't make a difference, but in the past, I have done some that are toe up and I felt that they are looser. And Carrie, no, I've recounted several times. There are 64 stitches on here. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Anyway, I'm frustrated. And Leanne is saying it's because I was supposed to buy yarn to make the Frosé shorties. And you're not wrong. The knitting universe might be telling me something, but I haven't successfully found the right yarn for those Frosé shorties. I'm sure I have something at home though, but I don't know. I don't know what to say. And you have no answer for me, do you? What about the fact that it is color work? Nikki is saying.
No, that should bring it in more, not make it wider.
I know. I could go to a smaller needle. You're right. I could go down to a 2, but I've never knit socks on a 2. I always use a 2.25. So I don't, and color work should make it even tighter. You're right. So, okay, DM is saying online it actually says it is a sport weight. I don't know.
That doesn't
add up either. I know,
it doesn't add up because your white's not bringing it in. If that was a much heavier weight than the white, and the white was the right, you would see that white come in when you knit with the white.
But I don't know. Like, I will say, like it looks looser. My stitches look looser. Like, okay, there's my stitches here, right? And then when I hold these up, that does look looser to me.
Well,
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know why. I'm baffled and disheartened. That's what I am, baffled and disheartened.
Well, you're like, you don't normally knit with 2 circulars like that when you're doing toe up.
No, I don't. I would knit on a 9.
And I know that like, I know I knit a pair of socks once and did it on 3 needles and used one, and did the other one on 4 needles and used 1 needle, and my gauge was totally different just by changing. And that was with the same size needle. So it could just be the needles that you're using.
Yeah. Julia saying Mike gets a new pair. No, Julia, I wanted these for me. I wonder if I switched to the flexi flips, would it feel tighter? You're right. Like it could be that I'm on here. I don't know. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to play around with that. That's super frustrating, but okay. That was my second whip. And you can see that wasn't very successful.
Okay. Well, my next is actually not a whip. It's a swatch.
It's a swatch?
It's a swatch. So I think that I'm going to do, I haven't decided for sure, the Fleur Tee by Brianna Mason.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I did have a picture of it. There we go. So it's a really cute little tee with this like delicate little lace pattern in it. And I'm going to do it, I think, in this Sand and Scarn Tin Lena. So I decided that I would do a swatch because I think I said I would. So I did. So here is what I've got. And it's exactly the needle size that I thought I would have used.
There you go.
So, but anyway, but in doing this, I find this yarn is quite splitty. So I haven't gone any farther than this. I'm going to continue with the swatch, but I'm going to actually change to a wooden needle and see if that makes a difference in like how the yarn splits, because this is a relatively sharp point on this one.
Okay.
And I think wooden is a little bit duller. So I'm going to try that. But I do really like how the little stitch pattern is knitting pretty up. But yeah, but I'm going to go to a wooden needle and see if that changes the knitting the yarn. So I know I have heard before that some people have said that yarn is quite splitty. So I just thought with the lace in there and the yarn overs, I'm not sure that it's the right pattern for that particular yarn, but I really like that. And I really want it in that color. So I am going to go to the wood and try it with that and see if that'll work any better. So, although I might cast something completely different on instead.
Yeah.
So, okay. Do you have any other whips?
No.
Do you have anything else that you're planning on casting on?
Yes. I didn't bring the yarn over with me, but I am going to actively search my Ravelry tonight and figure out what I want to do the flax and linen in with my Sondra yarn. And then I also will be looking for something to do some new yarn in. And I also pulled out and got ready to cast on the cuff in the other sock yarn that I brought with me, the Yarn Indulgences. And that's going to be a pair for Mike. So I was going to do that in the cart or in the truck today while we were driving, but maybe that'll be a tomorrow thing because tomorrow is a longer day of driving. So I definitely have to get something on needles to knit that I can kind of mindlessly knit too. Not that I have to take a pattern with, but I did buy some things and I was gifted some things that I want to show. So where are you? Do you have anything that you want to show that you're casting on, or can we get into what I've acquired?
I think I am going to take my next Sondra yarn, and there's a new tee. There's a new tee out by Lacy Loops. Okay. So it's basically this, but I think I'm going to stripe a few little stripes in with these two colors here. So this color is called Sleeping Beauty, and it was originally going to be something else, but I really like this for more like summery fall type sweater. And I really liked the pattern. It was like by Lacy Loops. It's a round yoke. It's got like lace in here, but then it's got stripes. So I think I'll alternate. Like it's 3 like single stripes. So I'm going to do 1, 1, 1, and then the next one do the opposite 1, 1, 1. And see what that looks like. But yeah, I really like really want to get another fleece and flax on the needles. So
okay.
Okay.
Okay. Isabel, tonight I am in Capshat, and tomorrow night I'll be in Kamouraska. So, okay. So, first I went to, I have to think about where did I, oh, okay. Tracy's Unrolling Yarn Shop.
Okay.
Which is in, where was I?
Sydney.
Thank you. I was in Sydney and I went to Tracy's Unrolling Yarn Shop, and she has a beautiful store. And I actually took video because this was my plan. I took some video in the store, and I also went to another store in Lunenburg, took some video there. And what I had planned to do was like kind of put these clips together and just do a short little thing. And I had planned to get it posted last week so that on our week off, there would still be something on the channel. And I couldn't get to it, but I have the footage and I do want to go back and show it, but I'll show you what I got there anyway. So generally when I'm traveling, I'm trying to buy like sort of some souvenir yarn that is meaningful to where I'm buying it. Her store is gorgeous, by the way. And she has a knitting lounge in there that is like, it's a really good knitting lounge. She has a beautiful assortment. And I saw some friends in there. And by friends, I mean skeins that I recognize. So she has Timber Yarns. Our friend Heather is in there. And Deborah's Yarn Indulgences, is in there as well. But the yarn that I bought in there were 2 skeins of the Wool and Wanderlust. And she is from Westlake, Nova Scotia. And this is called Nova Scotia Sunsets.
Oh, pretty.
So I thought this would be really, oops, I'm throwing one on the floor there. I thought that would be really pretty to add some mohair into, to, you know, kind of like tone it down a little bit, or else just to knit some fun socks with. And then the other one, I quite like this colorway too. This is Cape Breton Coal Miner. And this, look at the beautiful colors that are in here. So that's what I got in there. And look what else I got. I'm pretty chuffed about this because we've talked about it for so long. She sells Lantern Moon.
Oh, wow.
So I got 2 swivel cords, and I'll unbox this on here because I haven't unboxed it previously. But it comes with this little
tightening tool.
The tightening tool. And I really didn't need more cords, but we've just talked about this gosh darn tightening tool for so long that I thought, here's my chance. I'm getting this tightening. Okay. I'm getting this tightening tool. First, I'm going to get some scissors to cut into this, obviously. Hang on. That made things easier. So, okay, it's not what I expected. It's quite small. It's quite narrow. So usually what I use is that in here? I've got a couple. So we have the one that Betsy gifted us from Elgin Knitworks, which we cannot get them any longer. And so it's this one. And it was hand-turned wood, right? So that's the one that I'm used to using. So then with Lantern, every time you buy their cords, you actually get a couple of stoppers, and then you get this tightening tool as well. They are quite reasonable too, by the way. I think it was $12 and change for 2 cords, which will fit my anything from my Mindful collection.
Okay.
And then you get also this tool. So there, I've been chasing this tool for a long time, not because I needed one, but because we've talked about it on the podcast and I really wanted one. Also, you get their needle stoppers, and they're really pretty. They're like a big wooden button.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So they're quite pretty. So that's what I got at Tracy's. So there, I'll try that out. I'll report back. And then we went to Lunenburg, and I went to the Mariner's Daughter. So I have this bag from them. They have a really beautiful store. It's a small store, but I met there. Her name is Rita, and she is an employee of the store, and she is an absolutely fantastic spokesperson for the store. She pointed me to like some local things there, and she was just very knowledgeable about everything that was in the store. And she looks so much like Jillian. I couldn't believe it. And So I will post a picture and you'll see that how much she looks like Jillian. But anyway, here's the things I got there. I got some trinkets. So this one is a lichen and lace, which is, are they New Brunswick or Nova Scotia?
New Brunswick.
New Brunswick. Yes, Sackville, New Brunswick. But this is the colorway for the Mariner's Daughter. So you can only get it there. And it's really, really beautiful. And I thought this seemed like, this one I almost thought could be those summer Frosé socks, but then no, they can't. I'm still looking. And then they had this, and I hadn't seen this before. And this is the Illimani Feli. And it is 70% ultrafine merino, 30% cashmere. And this is just for a small scarf. Isn't that pretty?
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very, like, you can't believe how soft this is.
How soft it is.
Yeah. Really, really lovely. So I was thinking, you know, like think Sophie scarf-ish, sort of, right? Like just something small. And then I got this sock yarn, Bergen. Haven't tried this before. Have you knit with this, or have you heard of it?
I've never seen that before. Never heard of it.
Yeah. So they have it in there. It's really economical for a sock yarn. I like that it's a marl. So I thought I would try something. So that was, I'll bet they wouldn't come out too big. They look like they'd be just right. Okay. And then we went to PEI. So I stopped in at Fleece and Harmony and I bought a couple of souvenirs there. So this was interesting. This is their they call it their point prim sock. The colorway is bramble, so it's like berry hued colors. Now, there is no nylon in this sock yarn. It is 100% wool, but it does have mohair in, not 100% wool. Sorry, it is 80% wool, 20% mohair, and 400 yards in 104 grams. So I'm interested to see what this will be like. It's like, it has like kind of like a rusticy feel, but I think it will knit up. Like she had a sample sock done. It was quite soft. It was really nice. So I'm interested to see what this will wear like for a sock, but the color is really, really beautiful. And then I bought these two skeins to hold together. This is lace weight, her Eldon lace. This color is called Cranberry Scones, and this color is Autumn Birch.
Oh, that's pretty.
They pair really well together. So I was thinking just, look at like the color flex in this one. So this is a composition of, it's 500 yards in a skein. Over just 80 grams. So it is a lace weight. So I'm thinking with a mohair, and I happen to have a mohair in stash that's almost this color. And then we have all of that undyed mohair from Elite Spun. So I'm thinking of just like a basic striped sweater. This would be more than enough. So those are purchases. Then I have this to show. So when I was in New Brunswick a few days ago on Saturday, when all of you were knitting under the bridge, I still got my knitting fix in, and I had posted I've got a couple of pictures here. I got together with Sophie, who is Cozy Meadow Knits, and Deborah, who is the dyer of Yarn Indulgences. And we went to the Bucktouche Boardwalk, Dunes Beach, and we knit there. And it was amazing. We had the best afternoon, so you can see. And this dune, by the way, we didn't realize how long this dune was. There's a boardwalk part of the way. And then my husband came with me, and Mike said, "Oh, I'm going to just go for a hike down to the end of the dune." So he was walking, and then he thought he should check and see where he was. So he pulled his phone out and he opened up the maps to see how far the dune he was down. He was only halfway. The dune is 12.5 kilometers long. So he said, "I better turn around." And so he turned around and walked back. So he did walk 12.5 kilometers, but he didn't go to the end of the dune and back. So after walking in the sand and bare feet all of that distance, he said the next day his feet were just a little sore and fatigued. But anyway, so here's what I have to show you. They were both like so sweet. So I also found out the story behind, so Nancy wasn't able to join us, Nancy Knitsip, happy. But I did find out the story behind her Bucktouche Boardwalk socks. That is what they are named after, is the boardwalk at that beach. And Deborah said that she encouraged Nancy to write up the pattern. So Sophie gifted me, well, first she gifted me this little handmade pouch that she makes. This is such a cute little pouch, zippered pouch, fully lined
Very cute.
inside. And it's all, it's like very padded. So it'll be really great to keep some little knitting notions in.
Mhm.
She made that. And she also made some beautiful stitch markers. Whoops.
Very pretty.
There we go. They're so pretty. She gifted me those. And she gifted me this beautiful skein from Lichen
Oh,
and
that's pretty.
and it is called Ocean Wave, but just reminds us of the beach. And then Nancy gifted me the pattern for
Oh,
the
nice.
Buckbeak
So you can make
Boardwalk.
that. Yeah.
And so I definitely think I'll be casting on that pattern using the yarn that Sophie gave me to fall back on a memory that I have of knitting at the dune beach with the pair of them. It was just such a lovely day. And that's how I ended up with all of this color on my face. I've been wearing like SPF on my face and everything, but it was really windy and the weather was beautiful. And then Deborah showed up with a box, and she gifted me this sweater quantity
Oh,
of
nice.
the Luxe Lin fingering that she dyes. And this colorway is called Blomidon Blues. And it is 80% non-superwash wool, but 20% linen. And it's so lovely. And the drape.
Yeah, it's a beautiful color.
It is. It's really,
Yeah.
really gorgeous. So I will be looking up a pattern for this as well. And then there's more. She gifted for our viewers. So keep your eye peeled for giveaways with these lovely yarns coming up, because here is one of her bamboo sock, which I absolutely
that's nice.
love
Yep.
because that's what I knit my Mountain's Edge socks in. She also gave a skein of her Stomp sock in this colorway. It's very beautiful. This looks very Julia-like, called Neon Pool.
Yeah.
And then I feel these two skeins are going to have to go together, but we'll see. So this is a single skein of the Luxe Linen as well in Low Tide Clay. And I think it pairs beautifully with this Silk Suri Fluff, which is Nutmeg Dust. Look at those. They beautiful.
Yeah.
That would be gorgeous. There's that. There's more. This is her Spellbinding Suri Silk Fluff. So beautiful. And a sock marl in Mint Sprig. So pretty. So keep your eyes peeled. Deborah is really just, and I also didn't know that. So generous.
Yeah.
So generous. But I also didn't realize that she migrated to the East Coast from Kitchener-Waterloo area. I didn't know that. So this is her logo. I will add the link to her website in our show notes. And I highly encourage you to go on there and have a peek. Like I just love her yarn. I think her bases are beautiful and her color sense is wonderful. So highly encourage you to have a look on there as well. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Okay. Well, I did get some things, but I'll show them next week because we've already gone on long enough. So, and I won't get to knitting any of them till much after that anyway. So
okay. I have a couple of pictures that we can end with too then.
Okay.
So places you can knit. This is at the PEI bridge, the big Confederation bridge. They have a train car there. So I was sitting there to knit. This is in PEI. We spent the day with friends on a boat and we went over to a dunes beach. And well, there you can see him with that crochet bag again. So it goes a lot of places. And then what else did I have? Oh, so also we've been leaving gnomes around our trip. And this gnome in particular, I will show. So we have a bag of these gnomes, and there were, I think each of us had 3, and we named them all names after ourselves. So of course, Tammy named one of them Knitty Kelly, and never without her needles and a cozy project in hand, which is pretty much true. So when we leave a campsite, we leave a gnome. So we always put the gnome I take a picture of the gnome, then we take a picture of the person that the gnome is. So if you look here in this picture, you can see the gnome is in the tree behind me. Roxy got into that picture too. And then we take a group photo, and I didn't have the group photo in here, of us with the gnome, and we leave it. And we've already heard back from 3 of our gnomes. So on the other side is instructions to take the gnome on your travels and send us a picture of where the gnome ends up. So one of my gnomes have been found, and one of Tammy's has been found, and it was Trailblazer Tammy. And Trailblazer Tammy is on an escapade. Let me tell you, the people who found her reposted. She went to a place called Pippi Pond in Newfoundland, and since then she's been picked up and she was taken somewhere else, and I forget where she went to next, but people are emailing us. We have instructions on how to get in touch with us, and I created an email address for the gnome. So it's been really fun to follow our little gnomes, and I hope they like travel far, and it's just been like just a fun little thing. So whoever gets the gnome that day, then you pick the next gnome out of the bag, and then that person gets to hide their gnome, and so on and so forth. So it's just been fun. It's been fun. So last night we stayed in Percé, Quebec, which has this massive rock. It's just this big rock. I can't explain. It's like the size of an island or a freighter. It's the biggest rock ever out in the water. And we were at a campground right in front of it. So we hiked up to the top of this lookout point that you could see the rock from a different angle. And we left our gnome up there in the lookout spot. So I've been checking our emails today to see if anybody found the gnome, but it's been fun. It's a fun little thing. So yes, nomad gnomes. You're right, Julia. That's what they are. So there. Okay. That's all I have.
Okay. So I think that's it then for this week. So we will be back next week.
Yes.
Both from the same area, we think.
Yes, I think I should be home by then. Yes.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for joining us. Hope you all have an awesome week, and we will see you next Tuesday. Happy knitting.